Hey guys, welcome back to Leading Forward. Today on the pod. We are learning from other leaders. I'm excited for you to jump in. Special guest today with us. It all starts right now.
All right, well, we are in season 3 of Leading Forward podcast. And so this season's all about learning from leaders. Justin, so glad to have you on today.
Thank you, brother.
So honored.
Thank you.
Great to have you on here as a longtime friend. You know, we've done a lot of things in the past together, and running parallel tracks. And so it really is an honor to be with you on here today. Jeremy, glad to have you back. Missed you last week.
Thank you, brother. I missed you too, man. I love the change up. This is fun. Andrew Jones. Let's talk about that episode with Andrew Jones. I'll talk to our people. If you missed that, circle back and watch that right now. Well, not right now. First, do this. First, subscribe if you have not yet, and share this. Look at that. Justin's got it. And share this with somebody else. We talk to people from time to time like, hey, man, I heard this. I love that part. Awesome. Glad it was helpful. Did you share it? So just an encouragement to do that. That helps us out greatly in getting this out to other people.
Yeah.
Sign up for today, though, brother.
Today's going to be good.
Yeah.
And Justin, it really is an honor to have you on here. Thinking about your story and me just knowing a little bit of your story, and you connected with Jeremy today. Tell us a little bit about who is the man, the legend, Justin Wegner.
I think I'm the worst at talking about myself. But 2 years ago, that probably wasn't the case. I was face full of in my phone, just telling everybody about me. But no, I'm Justin, and just to put it plainly, I'm a sinner just like everybody else. Really working on my relationship with Jesus and making sure that I share that, share these episodes, stuff like that. But just sharing Jesus with as many people as I can in my way. That's who I am. If I was to summarize it. Yeah.
So you're an entrepreneur. You've had multiple businesses, but I know that you mentioned there your faith is kind of foundational. Your family is huge to you. Tell us a little bit about your family and kids.
Yeah. This is where I feel like age really starts to show. I have a 12-year-old son and 9-year-old daughter. Me and my wife have been together this year. In September will be 20 years.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Every year has just been easy, like there's, it's been easier as I get older. No, she is the biggest blessing to me here on earth. And she knows that I very much think that of her. We met down in Corpus whenever I was just a young pup, and just never gave up on pursuing her, and eventually worked out, moved up to Dallas with her. And, we have a house, we have 2 kids, we have a little dog, we have a house. I don't know, I suck at talking about myself. I don't know. That's me. Let's talk about business life and Jesus. That's good.
So you have 12-year-old, 9-year-old. I remember, I feel like when my kids were that age, it was actually a lot easier. And so I just got to warn you, as they get older, it does not get easier.
Okay.
Marriage may get easier. I don't know that parenting ever gets easier. I'm assuming there is a next stage.
I don't think it gets cheaper either.
That's the
people used to say getting out of the diaper phase, it got cheaper. I don't think so. I think every phase is just a prerequisite to the next one.
Okay, let me
just keep a carrot in front of you.
Yeah.
Let's hope. With just what we pay in car insurance for 5 people.
Man, I have a son. You have daughters, right?
3 of them.
Yeah.
And
you got 3 weddings coming up. Brother.
I'm bald and broke for a reason. Okay. And so, great hearing about your family. I know that's foundational to who you are. Your faith is a big part of who you are, and you own Day 41 Apparel. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So Day 41 Apparel is a faith-based apparel brand. But just like most people, we don't start where we are at. And so I didn't start here. I definitely started in a much different place. In 2018, I left my full-time job, which I was a web developer and graphic designer. And I went all in on my marketing and media business. And whenever COVID hit, I said, I want try to make it on my own, and still tried. And when COVID hit, it was pretty devastating to be 2 years into my entrepreneurial business journey. And, you know, something like that hit. I couldn't even like rely on my dad for help. Like, what do I do here? Where do I go?
Yeah,
There, I mean, he hadn't been through that. I mean, nothing like that, you know, minus the Great Depression. So there wasn't anybody for me to rely on or anything like that. So me and my wife, she came to me one time. She was like, why has this guy not paid us? I mean, so not only has COVID hit, people owed us thousands and thousands of dollars. And I remember her asking me one time, I was at my desk, very similar to that one. And she goes, what are we going to do? I was like, I had some printed shirts on the side, and I'm always working on something on the side. I'm always working on something on the side, like in my head, or like it's just, I think I just can't sit still. And
I know nothing about that.
I said, do you see those shirts right there? And she said, yeah. And I was like, well, I'm going to give away $750 once I sell all those. And she said, Justin, I don't know if you know this or not, but we don't have $750 in our account. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to sell those shirts. So I got on social media and I talked to the camera like I always did. And I sold all those t-shirts, and I had enough to buy more. And I gave away $750. And we just rinsed and repeated that a few times till that's what started Backbone Swag.
Wow.
And then we, you know, gave Facebook some money, said, here, can we amplify this? It was a weird time in advertising. It was a little cheaper than it is now. We grew. And I think most anything, whenever you grow it, trying to find the words to describe this, but when you grow something, it doesn't really matter how fast or how slow. There's always going to be problems that rise, and problems arose for me. Yeah. And my buddy Jonathan, who's a pastor, he always supported me, but he was very, very gracious with me. And we went to lunch at Saltgrass and Rockwell, and I was telling him about some of my problems, and he said, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And he said, this is the second lunch we've had where you said this. And I was like, you know, I think I was such a real and raw person that I can deliver truth to people, but having truth delivered to you, it's a lot harder to accept sometimes whenever you're like, well, usually I'm the one telling the truth, and you're telling me some truth that I need to hear. And I didn't want to hear it at the time, but, you know, I did. And I left that Saltgrass, went and sat in my truck, and I prayed to God. And I was just like, not a formal prayer. Like I'm not a formal prayer. I just I talk to God like I'm talking to a friend that I very much highly respect. And I'm just like, God, I need some help. I don't know what I'm doing. And whenever I nothing like clicked and changed that day, but something did. Like the results of it didn't change, but something did click. The results took it was obedience. Yeah. Right. So I had some steps in obedience to take. And so I started taking those, getting up every morning. I would be in my Bible. I would share that on social media. I would share, here's what I'm reading. And I would type everything that I thought. And I would share people like real and raw. I don't know what this means. Yeah. I don't know what this means. And I'm trying to figure it out. And I'll never forget, a friend of mine reached out to me because I said, I still can't believe that somebody died on a cross that many years ago for me now. Like that, it's such a, gosh, it's like, it almost feel like you're not worthy of it. And so that's what started the process of day 41. And day 41 represents, the number 40 shows up so many times in the Bible. But you know, Backbone Swag had a lot of biblical, I would say, threads in it. Okay. But I didn't seek out to do that. It just was like who I was. And so whenever I switched to day 41, it was about not quitting. It was about like getting through your day 40, because 40 shows up in the Bible so many times. That 41 is get through to it. Don't quit. I love that. So that's what we do now. And we've been doing that since 4/1 of 24. So April 1st, 4/1, we started
very cool
day 41. And that, I mean, we didn't plan that. It was just,
would you say that's like a central theme in your life? If you're getting a message out to people, it's to not give up hope.
Yeah. That there is always hope. It's like people forget sometimes. People put hope in other people, places, and things, and not
It's good.
hope in the one that actually deals it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's good. I loved how you just talk about going and sit in your truck and just having this raw, authentic prayer before God. It's nothing polished. It's nothing perfect. It's just, God, I need you. I need help. I need clarity. I need you to be the one who is the life giver and hope giver. And so, Jim, me and you've talked about this before.
Yeah, that's right.
That the way people struggle to have that raw, they think they got to talk to God in a certain way. Why do you think that is?
And I think when people see people pray and hear people pray, it's largely professional Christians or pastors. And man, this is probably a good reminder for if you are in a position where you are praying corporately, let's chill out a little bit on trying to impress anybody who's in there. I think that's a big caution. I heard it said this way. I can't remember who said, maybe you guys know this, but 3 of the most beautiful prayers that you can pray are thank you, help me, and wow. Don't you love that?
I like
Pretty much
that.
like.
That's it. Maybe, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Man, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
And I think there needs to be this raw, authentic, and I think even especially for men, that we think that we don't have it all together. So what am I supposed to, how do I go before God? And
right.
God doesn't need you to get it all together before you go to God.
Come on.
That's the
right.
rawness of repentance, this rawness of I need you begins to change the trajectory of life, of how you see God, of how you seek after God.
I had a conversation with my son. He's 12. He's about to be 30. And
He knows everything.
he's very quick to remind me that he's grateful, but he knows a couple things. Like, and he, as far as like sports, that kid is crazy knowledgeable. And
Pro sports?
pro sports,
Okay.
yeah, any sports. I don't know, college sports.
Wow.
He's in the numbers. He's in the people. He knows a lot of people. Anyway, so I just reminded him that hey man, like you can talk to me about anything. And he said, okay. And I was like, no, you can literally talk to me about anything. And he said, really? And I said, anytime, anywhere, day or night, it doesn't matter. Like, you talk to me. And you could tell that stopping and reminding him, I think that's what God wants from us is talk to him anytime, anywhere about anything.
Yes.
And whenever I had that, and I think that's the most beautiful thing about having kids. And if you don't have kids or you can't have kids, there are kids out there that need a leader. And I think you can choose to be that leader if you wanted to. And I'm, because there are parents with kids who are choosing not to lead their kids, right? Well, you could take it biblically or not, but they're not leading their kids. But I think that's the most beautiful thing about kids is we have this, it's a beautiful parallel with how God is with us.
Yes.
And I
So
think,
true.
that's one of the greatest gifts about kids is it reminds us what God needs from us too. And what we need from God. Like our kids depend on us, like we depend on God, but we have to make sure that we're teaching them that way.
Yeah, I'll just share some kind of a little deeper. I think one of the attacks that Satan has on the family today is more people are having less kids or having no kids at all. And there is something that you only learn about God, about the nature of God
Ding, ding,
by
ding.
having a kid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you're in this role of dad and father and you're going, you are so stupid. Oh, wait, let's make
Yeah.
clear. Right?
Yep.
And I'll do anything.
Why'd you do that?
I will do anything for you.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's saying the same thing to us, right?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
so I think part of Satan's plan is if you don't ever have kids, you're missing that. There's all kinds of issues and people will push back on that. But I think that's one of Satan's attacks.
Absolutely.
And so you're talking about, have this relationship with your son. And I think one of the things we have to work to do is always fight for another day with our kids.
Mhm.
Just do what you have to be able to fight for another day, because a lot of times our kids are going to run, pastors' kids run and other kids run and they're running from God and they're running from their calling. And we're confused about what do we do and how do we navigate this?
Mhm.
And it's just live to fight for another day. Keep the relationship that they can call you.
Yeah.
At 17, they've done something stupid and they need a bailout.
We had I had a full circle moment, literally 72 hours ago. My dad was in town and we went to have dinner and I told him, I said, Dad, said, Luke's doing this weird thing where like we'll ride together, but he won't ever talk to me. Like he's just in his phone. He's in his AirPod. He's not like being rude. He's just a kid. He's 12. And I said, I didn't have that problem because I didn't have a phone. I didn't have AirPods.
Yeah.
I had a Walkman, and the only time I listened to it was whenever I was in the back seat and we were on a long road trip and I didn't want to listen to my sister. Like that was it. And he said, he called me yesterday and he said, do you have a moment? I said, yeah. And he was like, I want to tell you that you at dinner, you were telling me this, and me and my dad have had a very tough relationship. I started working whenever I was 12 years old because my mom was a prescription pill addict and alcoholic. So I started helping my dad at 12 years. At the same age my son is now, I was working, right? So it's a thing now where I'm like looking at my son and I'm like, man, like you don't have to do anything. But that's also the beauty is you don't have to do anything, right? So like you want to give them a life that you didn't have without being jealous of that and not wanting to say, hey, hello, like I'm over here helping give that life to you. Like, is there something I can get from you? And my dad just said, hey, I just want you to know, like, you're going to go through times with your son where he's not going to want to talk to you. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have to weather that. And that was just like, it hit me right in the heart because at 19 years old, I was telling my dad, I don't need you. I'm good. Like, so it was just like, I'm going through a lot of emotions right now as a late 30-year-old where I'm getting to tell my dad sorry while hoping I don't have to live through that too. And just trying to do better, right? Trying to.
I mean, I think there's a lot of wisdom with that. And I think more men, more entrepreneurs, more people just need to hear it's never going to be perfect. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be pains. Yeah. Being able to apologize to your parents, being able to parent your kids differently because of it. And so, you carry the weight of being this godly husband, being this godly dad, being this godly man and business owner and entrepreneur, and all those weights add up, right? And so one of the things I've just found is that so many business owners, entrepreneurs just feel lonely in the journey because they feel like I'm at the top and I'm having to fight, and all the pressure's on me. How have you experienced and overcome just the weight of being a business owner?
Oh, that's such a great question. And I think I'm still learning the answer. So like, I don't have it, but how I've handled it so far, if they don't see you falter, they won't see you fall. And I just try to prop myself up on the things that I know that I can prop myself up against. Like it used to be alcohol for me. This December, I'll be 7 years sober.
Man, congrats.
Great. Thanks.
Just 7 years.
7 years. Yeah. No alcohol. Coming from an alcoholic, you would think that I should never want to dabble in it, but instead that bug got bite on me at one point. So like I used to get off work and, lean myself up against alcohol. And I think now it's different. I lean myself up against like, I know that I can't carry this weight on my own. I know that I don't want to give it to my wife. I know that I don't want to hand it over to my kids. So like the only person I feel like is worthy, and I'm not saying that I've been great at it, is just giving it to God. And I think it's a delicate and beautiful dance and giving something to God and surrendering it versus, okay, I'll handle this. I'll take care of it. Cause you're like, you can ask God to move a mountain, but if you're going to sit on the couch asking him to move a mountain, I don't think you're going to see that mountain move. Right. So like, I'm like, all right, God, how much more do you want me to handle? That's kind of how the relationship is. And it just makes me realize like, I don't have a good answer for that. I think it's still a work in progress. Love it.
I think I appreciate it honestly. And that reality, I think that's the struggle that so many business owners go through is how do I balance this thing? How do I carry all these weights? I mean, now allow it to crush me.
I think anybody who has a microphone and a podcast, right, is they think that those people just know everything. And even back from the old hunting days, like I was very much a transparent guy. It's like not everything's great. Not everything is peachy. Not everything is perfect as you think or as they sell it to you online. So the more I go on these and the more I share with people, it's like, if they ask me a question, I don't know, I'm going to tell you, I don't know. Or I'm going to say, here's how I'm handling it. And I could handle it better. Or here's what I've learned by handling it this way. And here's probably, so I just feel like being real and raw is just the way to be.
So in your experience with your building of your company, as well as family, I think it applies to both. But you're saying that showing transparency has been, I'm not going to say cheat code, but it's been helpful.
Well, what's the number one reason people have disagreements is over what? Communication.
Yeah.
And I think the best way you can communicate is just being transparent.
Yeah.
So with my kids have seen me fail. They have seen dad struggle, but they have never seen me quit.
I love that.
They've seen me fall time and time again. They've seen me say, I don't know this. Let me figure it out. But they've never seen me quit. They never seen me give up. And so, that level of transparency, I mean, I take that into my relationship with my wife. Like, there'll be times I'll tell her, like, I could just use a hug. I don't need anything. I could just use a hug. So
listen to that. That is some great wisdom. Just being able to lean into your wife and say, I don't need anything else. I don't need questions or explanation. I just need a hug. And that's really a big part of what men need, right?
Yeah.
That we need this peace in our home. We'll go fight all the dragons and we'll go slay all the demons out there.
Yeah.
But I got to come home and have some peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I was going to ask you this. Do you feel like what you just said, you lean up against God, and some guys lean up against vices, like
Vices,
right? Do you feel like putting that kind of pressure, if you don't have anything, putting that kind of pressure on your wife, on your spouse, or if it's a lady on their husband, have you seen that? Have you seen that go sideways?
Yeah, and I've also seen people hide it. And then there's resentment that's built.
Yeah.
So, I think we're designed to handle what we're handling. We're just not designed, I think, to think we're the only ones handling it.
Cool. It's good.
So if you think about that, like, God's there too. And I think man, like my wife she'll tell me, like, she's might be having a hard day. And I'm like, when's the last time you read your Bible? She hates it. She hates it, right? She does, because it's
want accountability from anybody else
but me, right?
Yes.
But like, I think that's where I'm so transparent.
Good for you.
How many times have I read my Bible in the last 7 days? 2. Right? So I went 5 days without reading my Bible. I didn't go 5 days without talking to God.
Mm-hmm.
But like I know that if I'm struggling, I know the one vice that has not failed me. It's been the one I've come back to every single time. And it's the one I want to talk about the most. It's the one that has literally moved mountains for me. It's the one that's pulled me out of complete despair. It's the one that's kept me accountable. It's the one, all those things. And it's God. So I don't think any of us are handling anything on. I just think sometimes Satan, like you were talking about Satan's tactics. And I think Satan's tactics, whenever we're alone, is thinking, you're alone. Give up now.
That's right.
No one's going to come help you. You're done. Wow.
Good. And you don't have to be alone. You have God, and God has put other people around you to be in the journey with you. And that's,
I don't reach out to people though. Like I wish I was better at it. And I wish I felt like I'm just being real again. I wish I had a bigger team of people that I could call to say, I'm struggling with this. But the only one that I would tell is my wife. Yeah. But that's after I've kind of like released it to God and tried to figure out, because I mean, I don't think she can handle the heat. Yeah.
Well, and God just created them different, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things me and Jeremy talked about is how do we create some network of guys like you that are business owners that carry the weight? You're trying to honor God with your business, and you feel like you're in the battle alone. So how do you create this executive boardroom of trusted guys who are just like us in the journey that we can go, okay, let's learn from each other and just meet occasionally, and you don't have to be in all your business and you don't have to be in all of my business, but who do we get to talk to? And so we've been talking about what does that look like? And so hopefully we'll be rolling something out like that pretty soon. All right, so let's talk about some business stuff. Okay, so you had Backbone Swag.
Backbone Swag. Yeah.
How long did you hit?
We started that in 2019.
Okay, so you went
2019 to 2024.
And you had how many shirts when you started? You said you were trying to sell
You know, what's crazy is I think we had 40.
40 shirts. Okay.
I literally, why it was 40 is because I think that's all I could afford.
So that was your,
So I didn't think about that till now. Wow.
and then before you changed over to day 41, how big had Backbone Swag got to?
Yeah.
And here's what we need. It's okay to brag. It's okay to talk about what your business is.
Yeah.
We know who you are at this point. We know that you want to honor God with your business. So tell us just for the Backbone Swag, how big did that brand grow?
It grew to doing $1 million plus a year. So
incredible.
in just t-shirts. So we did our first $1 million in our second year of business.
Amazing.
The very first year was a subscription, and we did about $7,000 the entire year. And we grew to be able to doing that in a day.
From 7K to
Year one, say that again. Year one, you did how much?
7,000.
Year two, you hit,
$1 million plus.
and then you had for how many years?
That would be 3.5 more years.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. No, it's
So,
yeah. So you tell people like you're gonna switch. Like I had a meeting with my team, and I was like, "So here's how I've been feeling. Like I've got to change the brand. I can't promise you a job. I'm got to change the brand though." And everyone stuck with me, and they felt it, and we hit a dip. And I think that was just kind of meeting Jesus on the water.
yeah. Do you remember me and you having lunch and talking about this?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we,
At the pizza place.
yeah, eating pizza, and you were like 3 months into it. And so I was just talking to you about your business, and I knew, man, you were all over ads, and you were everywhere for Backbone, and I knew so many different people that were, wearing your stuff. And you said, man, 3 months ago, completely changed. And you were this complete step of faith, this complete unknown of what was coming next.
Yeah.
And so that was what year?
That's
24?
2024. Yeah.
So over 2 years in this business, you went from, so how many a month? So you're easily doing Backbone Swag those last couple months. We're doing what?
I mean, Backbone Swag, I think we were doing about $150,000 months, almost $200,000 months. So
Absolutely. I mean, that's an incredible,
yeah.
and any business, but just to be doing apparel, of doing this, and to go, let's hit the brakes and let's make a right turn.
It's huge. It's a risk.
almost a U-turn. That's what it felt like. Like we're going off a cliff. I mean, in that first month, my wife was looking at me. She does all the numbers. So she's our CFO.
Okay.
She looked at me and she was like, "Do you think we made a mistake?" I didn't skip a beat, and I said, "No." It's like, I don't know how this is going to work. God's not going to call it blind faith, call it dumb faith. I don't care what you call it. It was faith. And I was walking in it, and I was willing to completely fail in front of everybody, but I knew what I was doing for. And I knew it because God was like, you can't, have you seen the analogy where there's, I think it's a pastor, and he's climbing 2 ladders.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And climbing the 2 ladders, and it's like, it's a perfect example because I had people tell me, well, that's fine. Go chase your unbelievable, or your guy in the sky is what they said. But why can't you keep Backbone Swag? And I said, I can't climb 2 ladders at once.
Wow.
Can't climb the way of the world and way of God at the same time. Eventually I will fall off one, and I don't want to fall off the way of God. Like, I just don't. So I'm sorry. And ironically, to add to the whole mix of just hilarious things. So that's sarcasm, by the way. We decided on the day 41 apparel, right? So I was like, when are we going to launch? And I looked at the calendar, and in a couple weeks, it was going to be April 1st, 4/1. So we launched it then. We launched it. I went through all sorts of stuff on Shopify to change everything on the back end, which is not easy to do. I had to write in letters to them on why I was changing.
Okay.
And I would tell people on the sports, like, because God is telling me this is where I need to go. So like, I'm having chat support with people about, hey, like, yeah, I was all in.
That's great.
Have you ever gotten a trademark?
Mm-mm.
One of the hardest things to get. And we were in like a year plus money just sinking into trying to get a trademark. The month we switched over to day 41, I got a letter in the mail that said, we have successfully reserved the trademark for Backbone Swag. So now I own a trademark in something that I'm not doing. You know, I still have all the designs. I still have all the artwork, all the files, the shirts. Like I have them all. I feel this is where we're supposed to go. And why would I want to keep looking back if this is where I'm supposed to go?
Yeah.
Man, I love that. And because Satan's trying to pull you back. There's all these opportunities. It's the money, it's the safety, it's the security, it's the, you've been putting all this money into this pot to get something. Now you got it. What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like Lot and his wife, that moment, right?
Yeah.
Looking back, like, nope.
Yeah, I don't want to turn to sand.
No, I
Yeah.
don't even care. It's this direction.
So
Wow.
as Day 41 apparel has grown, I know there's had to be hard months, hard seasons of trying to figure out, God, I know you're leading this way. I believe that, and one of my favorite passages in Mark and Jesus, this guy comes to Jesus and says, hey, will you heal my son? And he said, yeah. And the guy says, I believe that it's possible. And Jesus responds to him, anything's possible for those who believe. And he says, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief.
Mm.
And I think that's a prayer that we need to say more often. Lord, I believe, help my unbelief. What was that moment for you? Lord, I believe, help my unbelief in the struggle and the pain.
You know, the reality is, and I know you guys have seen it too, is a lot of people find Jesus and they think everything's going to be golden, right? Like, I found Jesus, nothing else is going to hurt. We're good. And I think to some degree that is true. If I'm being honest, like here today, I'm having one of those days. Like, I'm not kidding you. I'm not lying to you. Like, today, the business is not doing good. That's raw. That's real, right?
Thank you, man.
But this is the faith of just like, okay, cool. Like, I know I have work to do. I know who I believe in. I know what we're going to do. It is literally like today, like I kid you not, is one of those days. I didn't want to come here. I didn't want to do this. I was like, I got to figure out, but I know like, that's just what the faith is like that. I mean, you plant seeds to get a crop. That's cool. You harvest a crop, but you still got to plant again. And the best time to plant a crop is through that rich, nutrient rich soil and, you know, having that fresh faith.
Wow.
That's great. That's awesome. But it grows a little bit and you harvest a little bit. And then you gotta plant that seed again. You gotta water it. And so like I'm in the season right now. And I think if people want to be real and quit lying to other people and you want to reach more people, just be real about it. So yeah, I honestly don't even remember your question and how to particularly answer it, but I'm in a season right now where I'm having to rely on that faith of just, God help me believe even more than I believe now.
Hey, love that.
People don't often hear people talk about having hard days and that you're,
That's right.
so full disclosure, you can, you know, if you want to talk about money, right? Facebook advertising is not free. We can go upside down on Facebook ads in a moment's notice. Moment's notice. So you can spend $2,000 or $3,000 a day on Facebook, and if you don't make that,
It's out of bounds.
yeah. And so I mean, it's one of those. It's it's a delicate dance there too. It's like, you want to reach more people. You gotta reach more people on the platform that they're on. This is where we're trying to do it. So we just try to do it smart and not be dumb, and, continue to know, like, if I want that mountain to move, well, there's work to be done here. I heard it said this way: if you pray for God to move a mountain, you better wake up ready to see a shovel. Right. Yeah. If you want patience, that whole adage right there.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I meet with anywhere from 15 to 25 business leaders, business owners a month, and they all say that at different seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has those moments. Everyone has those months. Everyone has those seasons that it's hard, it's difficult, and you're going, man, I planted all these seeds, I've done all this work. The harvest should be here now, but it's not here yet. And you got to keep grinding, you keep moving, you keep doing the things that you have to do.
Yeah.
And knowing that God does bring a harvest. It's not always going to look like what we think it's going to look like.
That's true.
But there is a harvest. And part of it is that peace that you mentioned, as we were talking before we even started, that trying to find this piece of making sure I am where God wants me to be. I'm doing the things that God wants me to do. And one of the things I've learned over the last year is that peace is not the absence of conflict.
Yep.
The peace of God is peace in the midst of conflict.
Sure. I mean, the higher the grit sandpaper, the smoother the surface. You still have to.
That sounds country. I love that, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was my grandfather was a woodworker. So he built me and my cousins castles, and the girls all Barbie houses. Like, I mean, from the little shingles.
Wow.
He placed every shingle. He made, what you see as like plastic Barbie doll houses and castles, like he built with wood. So like it was always natural for me to be around him in woodworking, and it was like blew my mind. I was like, why is it the higher the grit, the smoother the surface? And then you start to realize that that's kind of what life is. Harder it is, the more you're going to get chiseled down.
Yeah. Me and Jerry, just start off the season, we talked about some of our biggest influences in our life, books that we've read, mentors that we've had. And we both talked about John Maxwell and just,
Is it good?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And one of the things that I love that John says is, it's lonely at the top if you refuse to take people with you.
Yeah.
And the air does get thinner. There becomes less people who understand the weight, who understand the pressure, who understand these things. So you've got to find people who can go with you on the journey.
Yeah, that's right, man.
And that's what this whole season's about, is learning from leaders and going, hey, we have something in common, and these guys have something in common. We're going, we got to be able to lean on each other and help each other be at their very best.
Yeah. No, I think it's just the hardest thing for men to do, is to say you need somebody.
Yeah. So I don't know if we said it, but I do think you're almost 40. I think the biggest flex that a man has,
Just took that.
You're almost
40. You're a young guy.
Listen, I'm closer to 50 than I'm 40.
And you earn your stripes. Okay.
Yeah. So I think you can tell me this. I think that a man's biggest flex in his 40s is being able to say, I got a guy for that.
Yeah. No, I think my Rolodex is quickly getting bigger for that. Yeah.
You need this. You need this.
Guy?
I got a guy for that. I know a guy, right?
That definitely helps.
But what they're saying is, I have someone I'm putting my name on.
You trust.
I'm trusting. I know them. You can trust their work. You can trust who they are. And so it's not just this flex, I know a guy. It's saying, I'm giving my credibility to this guy, to you.
Yeah.
And so to be able to be that guy to other people.
Yeah. And I sat down with this, like, hardest thing for me to do is talk about myself. But I'd say, like, the guy that I think that everyone should share the most is Jesus. And like, everybody's real good. And I just, like, whenever going through the valley, they're looking for help. And whenever they're at the peak, they're saying, look where I got. And I think whenever you're at the top, that's whenever you glorify who got you through the bottom. And, the I know a guy thing is very big for me. So, like, whenever people ask me, like, I talk about God, talk about Jonathan, because he was the guy that said, don't look to me, don't look to them, look to him. And, whenever I think of hard moments, I think, that's my guy.
Wow. I got a guy.
I got.
I love that. That's a new shirt, man.
I got a guy.
Got a guy.
How about
I
that?
like it.
Hey, shout out to, we were talking a little bit ago to Jonathan Moore, and man, we love you, brother, pastor.
Yes.
We used to run Ninja Warrior courses together, and
still think
he's
it's
still
crazy.
doing it. How is he still doing it?
I don't know.
I
He
must have
knows
been on a different
everybody.
season than y'all.
You want to
So-
talk about?
That's good.
Well
That's
played.
good.
I'm just barely 40, so
Yeah.
I haven't been on there yet.
Yeah.
I'm still coming in.
They're gonna have a geriatric only version of it, and I'm all in, man.
He is so well connected, and I mean, you want to talk about somebody who's ain't afraid to talk to Jesus about anybody.
Yeah, man.
He was telling me about a time he was at the dealership and Shaq rolled up.
Oh, right. Yeah. I remember seeing his picture. Posting that.
Shaq thought he was just a car salesman. He's like, actually, no, I'm a pastor. And they started talking about Jesus right there at the.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
So that's kind of funny.
Yeah. Shout out Shaquille O'Neal, man. Share our podcast, brother. We love you.
Yeah.
Man, Justin, thank you so much for being on here, sharing your story. I
Yes.
am so
Yeah, thank
grateful
you, man.
for men like you who are successful in business, but you're not sacrificing home for your business. You're not sacrificing your faith for your business.
Yeah.
You are building these things together in order that all these things honor and glorify God. I'm not climbing two mountains. I'm not climbing two ladders. I'm seeking the things of God and to honor Him.
Mm.
So we talked about some different things, and kind of our last question for you.
Oh, man. We're trying out some last questions. We want to have a last question.
Okay.
That's like the same question every time. So let's throw this one out. Try this one on. We thought about like, where's your favorite burger, whatever. Favorite dude movie. Let's try that one.
Dude
Favorite
movie.
guy movie of all time.
Lonesome Dove.
Going old school.
You didn't hesitate at all.
No, I like
man.
Lonesome Dove. It's a Western. I'm a sucker for Westerns.
Okay.
I just love good old Western movies. I mean, talking about a good friend who's going to take his buddy back, you know?
You got any one-liners from Lonesome Dove that you just got to go to?
No,
Okay.
I'm like, it's just a good movie. I don't know. I just like Westerns. It's my thing.
I love it.
People
I
don't
used to
know.
watch Bonanza with my mom and dad, or with my dad. And I'm telling you, like, if with Westerns specifically, the values that we miss that are in so many of those, like
The
grit,
Westerns. Yeah.
endurance, a right or wrong, like it was rich with value,
Mm-hmm.
helping, save the girl kind of thing. It was great, man.
What's your favorite?
I asked, but I don't. Well, I mean, Tombstone. If we're talking
Tombstone.
about Westerns, Tombstone.
Is that your favorite dude movie, or what's your favorite dude?
Roadhouse?
Roadhouse. Okay.
I'm not endorsing going out watching the original Roadhouse, but it's just full of, I don't know. I just love it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Tombstone, Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Yeah.
One of the movies that I've actually watched a couple of these recently. They're not just dude movies, but Ford versus Ferrari
Oh, yeah.
and Moneyball. Those two movies, like
Moneyball low-key is actually pretty cool. Me and my son love that.
Yeah.
You just say, look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
I'm so old, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's a saying now called in the pocket or out of pocket or something like that. It's not.
Okay.
It's not what. I'd be like, where are you? I'm out of pocket. I'm out of cell phone service. But that's not what it means now.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even know. So,
Oh, I'm going to look that up on.
Yeah. Got to be in the know.
Yeah.
and
Great.
Justin, again, thank you so much. Hey,
Yeah.
if you have not yet checked out, make sure you go check out day41apparel.com.
Yes.
Just day 41.
Day 41. Okay.
Day
Day 41.
Yeah, spell out 41.
Yep. And then we'll have links on here for check out his Instagram, check out Facebook. Make sure that you give them a like, a follow,
Yeah.
continue to support them. If you're looking for your next apparel that represents and glorifies
I love
Christ,
it, man.
make
Love
sure
it.
that you check them out. Again, thank you so much for being part of Leading Forward. Continue to learn, continue to grow,
Yes.
continue to invest in others, and always lead forward.